in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good night, or good afternoon, wherever you are in this big wide world of ours. Hope that you are starting or ending your day the right way. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm lost. Give me a second. Let me figure out what to do. Is this thing live? Hi. Because I'm filming it. It's not in the Okay. Close out of everything. What if... I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if this thing is live. Now, how do I live without you? Sorry, bear with me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if anybody can hear me or if it's not picking up audio. So if you're out there, hello. Christmas Eve stories. I had a feeling I was going to do that. No. Hey, got it. Hey, hello, can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you. Whoa, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's 100. Woo! You can hear me. Okay, I can give up then on trying to figure out how to. Okay, I can set that down officially. So, because that was my thing I was trying to see. I can see. I can't see you though. Yeah, I have the camera disabled for this one. Uh, I'm I'm just not up to par. It's been a long day. After I ended my stream, we had to run to. I'm going to learn how to talk one of these days, just not today. We had to run to shop real quick after I ended my live stream, and then when we got back, we broke for lunch, and then when we got done with lunch, we literally until about 6 o'clock, we we were baking all of the desserts for tomorrow, so that way we can focus on the dinner aspect. And then I had to run to my cousin's and grab mom's Christmas present for her. I'm sorry, I got my ears to pop and I had a big yawn. Over 50 is in the house and they say happy holidays. Enjoy a blessed weekend. Thank you, over 50. I hope that you're doing well. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, well, whatever holidays you celebrate. Um, I hope that you're having a blessed weekend. We have High Truth in the house saying, hi, Zach, I can hear you. I can't see you, though. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry. One of these days. And then we have my sis, Jenny Marceth. in the house. Long time no see. How's it going? What can, right? Is this Jenny? Open, oh, not safe. Is this? Oh, Jennifer Miller. My bad, Jennifer Miller. I am so sorry, Miller. That's, oh my god. It's not, that's what I was trying to do. That's what I should have done. Oh. Oh, no, not Jennifer Miller. Oh my god. See, this is why I need the reader. I've just butchered somebody's name. I've about to. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jeffrey. Jeffrey Miller. This is why. This is why I have to have a reader. This is why I have to have something read to me. Is because of my reading disability. My brain said, "Oh, this name," and it wasn't. Not once, but twice. I'm so sorry, Jeffrey Miller. I am so sorry. I hope that you are not mad. I mistaked you for two different people. Thank you for coming in, and I sincerely hope that you're having a great night, great morning, or great afternoon wherever you are. Whatever holidays you celebrate, I hope they're great. Merry Christmas from my command center to wherever you are and whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays. I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. I feel like garbage now. Yeah. But that's my brain problems for you. There we go. Hope you're enjoying hope you are doing well. Jeffrey, I was. I was doing okay until 2 seconds ago when I messed up your name. I'm so sorry. I understand if you're upset. I would be too. No. I don't know, I've been called every name and mistook for other people. I'm so sorry. Hiya, Truth is going. Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. So you can see, but I know it says music. It didn't have an option for talking or what we're about to do. So I had to put, well, I didn't have to, but I chose to put music because, like, I don't, there's some music in it, I guess. So it is Christmas Eve here in the command center and at the power chamber. And as a tradition, I was on my D Live stream today, and I was asking people what they do for their traditions. Whatever holiday, whatever you do, whether it's Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whether it's Christmas, whether it's X, Y, Z. I was asking people, what is your traditions? What is some things you like to do to get ready for the holiday, for the get-togethers, for whatever have you. And something that I like to do here at the command center, and I've made it a tradition in the last decade that I've been doing these broadcasts on Christmas Eve, is we have two books that get read to us because of my reading disability. So YouTube don't come for me because I have three. I have not only one, but four major disabilities plus ADD and ADHD and a whole other bunch of mumbo jumbo problems. Suffice it to say, we will be having two books read to us today. So the first one on the list that is going to be read to us is one that my teacher, God love her, we started at the same school at the same year, and she was my teacher all the way through, and she read this book without without fail every single year, every single Christmas party that we had. And it's called A Cup of Christmas Tea. It's a simple book. It's only a few minutes. So we're going to dive in and open A Cup of Christmas Tea. And before that, it is kind of chilly here. So I'm going to let everybody go grab your glass of tea, go grab your glass of vodka, go grab your glass of beer, go grab your glass of water, go grab your glass of juice, soda, whatever have you. Tonight we are drinking our soda because I don't have no coffee and it's too late. Uh, So, without further ado, here's a cup of Christmas tea. Oh, thank you, Miss High. Now, you may hear me try to read certain parts. I do try. A cup of Christmas tea by Tom Hanks. Uh, Spice set to burn. That's the nearly rain was in the clubhouse where cars were nailed. 30 days to breathe. So if it could catch up with me, it's more satisfying. Go away. Bring it for it's right in it. We're uncle. Through you and taking the out. Everyone will cringy and to the ground. Feeling go. Where's my football? Oh snap! So you haven't heard anything. Okay, so YouTube is not like Dean Live then. Okay. I got you. Thank you, Miss High, for letting me know. Thank you for letting us know. Much appreciated, Miss High. Much appreciated. Do Sorry, I am bringing it up on the other way.
Stopped beside the wooden house that held the Christmas.
Okay. A Cup of Christmas Tea by Tom Hagee. We're going to start. I can hear it now. Yeah, I brought it up on my phone. Ah! Okay. I just dropped.
Stopped beside the wooden house.
Alright. Tom Hagee wrote A Cup of Christmas Tea in 1981 when his parents asked him to go to his great aunt's and have a cup of Christmas tea. Cool. I can close these windows because they'll be useless.
The log was in the fireplace, all spiced and set to burn. At last, the yearly Christmas race was in the clubhouse turn. The cards were in the mail, all the gifts beneath the tree, and 30 days reprieve till Visa could catch up with me. And though smug satisfaction seemed the order of the day, something still was nagging me and would not go away. A week before, I got a letter from my old great aunt. It read, "Of course, I'll understand completely if you can't, but if you find you have some time, how wonderful if we could have a little chat and share a cup of Christmas tea." She'd had a mild stroke that year, which crippled her left side. Though housebound now, my folks had said it hadn't hurt her pride. They said she'd love to see what a nice thing it would be for you to go and maybe have a cup of Christmas tea. But boy, I didn't want to go. Oh, what a bitter pill to see an old relation, and how far she'd gone downhill. I remembered her as vigorous, as funny, and as bright. I remembered Christmas Eves when she regaled us half the night. I didn't want to risk all that. I didn't want the pain. I didn't need to be depressed. I didn't need the strain. And what about my brother? Why not him? She's his aunt too. I thought I had it justified. But then, before I knew the reasons not to go, I so painstakingly had built were cracking wide and crumbling in an acid rain of guilt. I put on boots and gloves and cap, shame stinging every pore, and, armed with squeegee, sand and map, I went out my front door. I drove in from the suburbs to the older part of town. The pastels of the newer homes gave way to gray and brown. I had that disembodied feeling as the car pulled up and stopped beside the wooden house that held the Christmas cup. How I got up to her door, I really couldn't tell. I watched my hand rise up and press the button of the bell. I waited, aided by my nervous rocking to and fro, and just as I was thinking I should turn around and go, I heard the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. The triple beat of 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall. The clicking of the door latch and the sliding of the bolt and a little swollen struggle popped open with a jolt. She stood there, pale and tiny, looking fragile as an egg. I forced myself from staring at the brace that held her leg, and though her thick bifocals seemed to crack and spread her eyes, their milky and refracted depths lit up eyes. Come
in, come in.
She laughed the
Come
words.
in,
She
come
took me
in.
by the hand, and all my fears dissolved away as if by her command. We went inside, and then, before I knew how to react, before my eyes and ears and nose, was Christmas past, alive, intact. The scent of candied oranges, of cinnamon and pine, the antique wooden soldiers in their military line, the porcelain nativity I'd always loved so much, the Dresden and the crystal I'd been told I mustn't touch. My spirit fairly bolted like a child out of class and danced among the ornaments of calico and glass. Like magic, I was 6 again, deep in a Christmas spell, steeped in the million memories the boy inside knew well. And here, among old Christmas cards, so lovingly displayed, a special place of honor for the ones we kids had made. And there, beside her rocking chair, the center of it all, my great aunt stood and said how nice it was I'd come to call. I sat and rattled on about the weather, the flu. She listened very patiently, then smiled and said, "What's new?" Thoughts and words began to flow. I started making sense. I lost the phony breeziness I use when I get tense. She was still passionately interested in everything I did. She was positive, encouraging, like when I was a kid. Simple generalities still sent her into fits. She demanded the specifics, the particulars, the bits. We talked about the limitations that she'd had to face. She spoke with utter candor and with humor and good grace. Then, defying the reality of crutch and straightened knee, on wings of hospitality, she flew to brew the tea. I sat alone with feelings that I hadn't felt in years. I looked around at Christmas through a thick, hot blur of tears, and the candles and the holly she'd arranged on every shelf. The impossibly good cookies she still somehow baked herself, but these rich, tactile memories became quite pale and thin when measured by the Christmas my great aunt kept deep within. Her body halved and nearly spent, but my great aunt was whole. I saw a Christmas miracle, the triumph of a soul. The triple beat of 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall, the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. She poured 2 cups, she smiled, and then she handed one to me. And then we settled back and had a cup of Christmas tea.
I want to thank everybody who hung in there for the difficulty. I forgot that YouTube is not like DLive. It does not play. So I terribly apologize for that. I'm streaming straight through the studio. So yeah, it's all good. Miss Haya says, "Thank you for understanding." Yeah, and I guess I should have, but I didn't want to have to change my stream key. That's kind of one reason I took the camera off. I should have. Next year, next year, right? This year, it's a green screen. what can you do? We're under attack. We're under attack. Ay, 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 ay. No. Okay. The next classic book that gets read to us is The Night Before Christmas. The Night Before Christmas. At least it's green. That's right.
By Jan Brett. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house
not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The stockings
Stockings
were hung
by
by the
the chimney with care,
in
in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there.
The children were
nestled
all
all snug in their beds. Oh,
while visions of
the
sugar
sugar
plums
plums danced in their heads. Dun,
And
dun,
Mama
dun.
in her kerchief, and
I
I in
my
my cap,
cap,
had just
just
settled
settled
down
down
for
for
a
a
long
long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I
Oh!
sprang to see what was the matter.
Whoa!
Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow,
Oh no!
the luster of midday, the objects glow.
Look at there down
When
there.
what to my wandering eye should appear but
Oh
a
my God.
miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer.
Oh my goodness, he's so
With a little
small.
old driver so lively and quick,
Look at him.
I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick.
That's St.
More
Nick
rapid
down
than
there.
eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now
Dancer,
Cute,
now
now
Prancer
Cute,
and
now
Vixen.
like,
I'm
now
coming,
Dim,
I'm
now
Cupid,
Dim,
I'm
now
Donder
Ditch and
and
Boo.
To the top of the porch,
March,
to the
top
top
of
of
the
the wall.
wall.
Now
Dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the
Let's
housetop,
stop.
the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head, it was turning round down the chimney. St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and the twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Merry Christmas all, and to all a good night. A Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. I'm sorry, I'm trying to... I was trying to share myself out, and unfortunately, Instagram is never an option that you can share with. And I think it's completely ludicrous that you can't share to Instagram with these other platforms. And so it's the same thing for D Live. Like D Live, I have to make a whole post and everything. So like I'm used to it, but then again, sometimes I'm like, I wish there was buttons I could just press and just share it out and be so much easier. No, no, not easy here. What's easy? Shoot. Okay. Okay, got that. Okay, okay. Oh, well, can I? Sorry, I didn't want to give them any more of a reason to give me a copyright struck because I'm gonna have to have that bulk rate to maintain them. Come on now. Thank you. Is live on YouTube. I should have put. Oh well. Hi, Truth comes in saying, Zach, thank you for sharing the stories with us. Much love, ML. Purple Heart and blessings. You're more than welcome, Miss Haya. Like I said, this is a tradition that this is a tradition that I've started since I moved back to the command center. Oh, and I'm sorry I didn't include the rest of your emojis. I just so happened to take a drink. She's throwing out prayer hands, Christmas tree, and the lights for that Christmas tree. Can you believe it? We've been here for 30 minutes already. 30 minutes we've been here. It's hard to believe. Like, girl, I've done a lot of stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh, and then by the way, I heard the reports. It's coming. Breaking news. Breaking news. Santa is running on time. He's running ahead of schedule. They're in the North Pole Command Center right now, and they're giving us a play by play. And I hope that all you bad boys and bad girls and good little boys and good little girls all get snug in bed, and I hope that he comes and visits you. Here at the command center, we weren't taught that Santa does. You get less. You don't. If you're really bad, like mom never taught us you get coal. She just like he'll be disappointed, and you won't get that many presents. So that's what how I grew up with Santa. My Santa, he doesn't care if you're gay, straight, bi. He doesn't care whatever. He just wants you to be good and decent, slow down, and goodwill to others, and all the jive. Higher Truth says, I remember you doing this. I remember you doing it last year. Yes, yes, I've been trying to do it ever since I have moved back to mom's. It's a little tradition that I started. It started off with me just wanting to share the cup of Christmas tea because my teacher shared the book with me all the years without fail. And this woman tried to be the sweetest person that could be. Now, don't get me wrong, when she had to be tough as nails, she was tough as nails, but for the most part, she was a very sweet lady, and I'm very thankful that she was my teacher and that she read that book to me, and so I have kept it alive as a tradition here because of her. So it's in honor of her. So wherever you are, um, I hope that you've had a good, you know. How it goes into saying, I got coal, I got coal around my stocking this year. I knew it, I knew it. I was gonna have that coal this year. 'Cause that motherfucker didn't want to mind her own damn business. That motherfucker didn't want to mind her own damn business this year. So I knew I was gonna have that coal this year. I'm rocking around the Christmas tree with the coal in my hand. Zach, Higher Truth goes into saying, Zach, that's awesome. You do that in her memory. Yes, yes. Um, like I said, very sweet lady. Started at the school the same year I did. We went through all the grades together. And at the end, I said, you should retire. My keep in mind she had a couple of things that happened in her last year and such, and I said you should retire. And it was funny, sure enough, she announced her retirement after the graduation. And it was sad because I didn't get to say so long, see you later. So, and if you've been here for any length of time, you know I don't say them one words. I say see you later because, as I've learned in this great big game of life, you never know what the fuck's gonna happen or who might come popping back up in your life down the road. You never know. That's why you always gotta be fucking careful. You don't know. You don't know. So yeah, yeah. Um, we'll go through the cup of Christmas tea one more time, just because that's a thing I do. I usually do it twice, both books, just in case if somebody wasn't able to join us during the first reading. So I'll let everybody freshen up their coffee, let you get some snacks. Um, I wish YouTube would. True. She said, Haya says true. I wish YouTube would let me play music. Because I'm going to go and run and grab me a cookie. I'm going to go and grab me a cookie. And, computer, play Mozart.
Here's some music by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart on Amazon Music.
All right. I hope that you've all enjoyed the classical music. Computer, pause. I got my cookie. Welcome back, Haya says. Thank you, Miss Haya. Greatly appreciate that. A cup of Christmas tea. A Cup of Christmas Tea by Tom Hagee. Tom Hagee wrote A Cup of Christmas Tea in 1981 when his parents asked him to write something for his church 125th anniversary DR, drawing on childhood memories. He composed a star forward sentiment sentimental that on his eyes. Yeah. Then last little bit of words I can't read. That's why we have the book reading to us. So without further ado, A Cup of Christmas Tea. I hope you got your coffee, your hot chocolate, your whatever beverage, cookie, snack.
The log was in the fireplace, all spiced and set to burn. At last, the yearly Christmas race was in the clubhouse turn. The cards were in the mail, all the gifts beneath the tree, and 30 days reprieve till Visa could catch up with me. And though smug satisfaction seemed the order of the day, something still was nagging me and would not go away. A week before, I got a letter from my old great-aunt. It read, "Of course I'll understand completely if you can't, but if you find you have some time, how wonderful if we could have a little chat and share a cup of Christmas tea." She'd had a mild stroke that year which crippled her left side. Though housebound now, my folks had said it hadn't hurt her pride. They said she'd love to see you. What a nice thing it would be for you to go and maybe have a cup of Christmas tea. But boy, I didn't want to go. Oh, what a bitter pill to see an old relation, and how far she'd gone downhill. I remembered her as vigorous, as funny, and as bright. I remembered Christmas Eves when she regaled us half the night. I didn't want to risk all that. I didn't want the pain. I didn't need to be depressed. I didn't need the strain. And what about my brother? Why not him? She's his aunt too. I thought I had it justified. But then, before I knew the reasons not to go I so painstakingly had built were cracking wide and crumbling in an acid rain of guilt. I put on boots and gloves and cap, shame stinging every pore, and, armed with squeegee, sand and map, I went out my front door. I drove in from the suburbs to the older part of town. The pastels of the newer homes gave way to gray and brown. I had that disembodied feeling as the car pulled up and stopped beside the wooden house that held the Christmas cup. How I got up to her door, I really couldn't tell. I watched my hand rise up and press the button of the bell.
Boom, 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 boom.
I waited, aided by my nervous rocking to and fro, and just as I was thinking I should turn around and go, I heard the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. The triple beat of 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall, the clicking of the door latch and the sliding of the bolt, and a little swollen struggle popped it open with a jolt. She stood there, pale and tiny, looking fragile as an egg. I forced myself from staring at the brace that held her leg, and though her thick bifocals seemed to crack and spread her eyes, their milky and refracted depths lit up with young surprise.
Come in, come in.
She laughed the words. She took me by the hand, and all my fears dissolved away as if by her command. We went inside, and then, before I knew how to react, before my eyes and ears and nose, was Christmas past, alive, intact. The scent of candied oranges, of cinnamon and pine, the antique wooden soldiers in their military line, the porcelain nativity I'd always loved so much, the Dresden and the crystal I'd been told I mustn't touch. My spirit fairly bolted like a child out of class and danced among the ornaments of calico and glass. Like magic, I was 6 again, deep in a Christmas spell, steeped in the million memories the boy inside knew well. And here, among old Christmas cards, so lovingly displayed, a special place of honor for the ones we kids had made. And there, beside her rocking chair, the center of it all, my great aunt stood and said how nice it was I'd come to call. I sat and rattled on about the weather, the flu. She listened very patiently, then smiled and said, "What's new?" Thoughts and words began to flow. I started making sense. I lost the phony breeziness I use when I get tense. She was still passionately interested in everything I did. She was positive, encouraging, like when I was a kid. Simple generalities still sent her into fits. She demanded the specifics, the particulars, the bits. We talked about the limitations that she'd had to face. She spoke with utter candor and with humor and good grace. Then, defying the reality of crutch and straightened knee, on wings of hospitality, she flew to brew the tea. I sat alone with feelings that I hadn't felt in years. I looked around at Christmas through a thick, hot blur of tears, and the candles and the holly she'd arranged on every shelf. The impossibly good cookies she still somehow baked herself, but these rich, tactile memories became quite pale and thin when measured by the Christmas my great aunt kept deep within. Her body halved and nearly spent, but my great aunt was whole. I saw a Christmas miracle, the triumph of a soul. The triple beat of 2 feet and a crutch came down the hall, the rattle of the china in the hutch against the wall. She poured 2 cups, she smiled, and then she handed one to me. And then we settled back and had a cup of Christmas tea.
Christmas tea. 1 cup of instant tea. 2 cups of egg tag tag egg TANG. 1/3 cup of lemon mix. 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. 1 tablespoon of ground cloves. Mix thoroughly. Keep and and use 1 of hot water. Namaste. Is that namaste? Nutmeg. 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 So yeah. No. 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 And our last book, we'll have it reread it again. So if somebody wasn't here,
The Night Before Christmas.
and before that starts, everybody if you have to go to the bathroom, this is a brief intermission. Go use the bathroom. Go get you another drink if you need another snack. No judgments here. No judgments. It's Christmas Eve, y'all. It's Christmas Eve. You know, being around for these trillions of centuries, man, let me tell you, it never gets old. We made it to another year, made it to another century, made it to another decade, made it to another point in time. We made it to another point in time in space. Shut up! Get a new record. Mm. Um, actually, I don't think it said nutmeg. Um, but you know what I'm gonna do, Miss Haya? Uh, really? Oh, there you are. There you are. All right, Miss Haya. Ow! I just stabbed my foot. Just stabbed my foot. Does that give you? Okay. I just okay. It's not okay. I stabbed my foot. Or are you saying okay that you got your coffee and stuff? I I sent you the recipe for the tea that it said. I sent you a recipe. I sent you the recipe. So there we go. Yeah.
The Night Before Christmas. A poem by Clement Moore. Artwork by Jan Brett. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hope that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap,
had just settled down for a long winter's
nap.
nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wandering eye should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, I'm Comet, I'm Cupid, I'm Thunder and Blitzen.
And
To the
Rudolph.
top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they met with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and the twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight,
Merry Christmas to all.
And to all,
good
a good night.
That was the night before Christmas. Hi, Miss Haya comes in and says, I see your message on Instagram. And then she goes into saying, thanks, I need to talk to you. Hey, you know, as I always say, the lens of communication is always open. It's always open. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you when I will respond, or that I don't guarantee. I guarantee a response, though. I guarantee that. Just overlook if it's a, you know. But yeah, I don't mind talking. No. Ooh, what special treat do I have for us?
Orlando Resort proudly presents Story Time with the Grinch.
Ooh. Hello.
Universal Orlando Resort proudly presents Story Time with the Grinch. That's your cue.
You know what, Mr. Off-Screen Narrator? I've had a very long day, okay? And I am not some trained dog that you can just beckon anytime you want me to perform for you. Oh, look at me! I'm the narrator! And I think I can tell anybody what to do
Grinch Stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right.
Stop!
It could be.
Stop! Stop it! Who do you think you are? You think you're qualified to tell my story?
Well, yes.
So, something. Oh, yes. The story is called How the Grinch Stole Christmas, not how the off-screen narrator with the silky voice stole Christmas. My story, my voice. Got it?
Whatever you say, Grinch.
Got you.
The Grinch cleared his throat.
I was just about to do that.
He said. How are you doing this? The Grinch frighteningly asked. He paused. Then he confessed something embarrassing. I sing Christmas carols in the shower all year long. The Grinch leaned over and retrieved the book from the table. That's better.
Now read.
How the Grinch, that's me, stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. Where was I?
I know where you are.
Well, of course you know where I am. I'm standing right here.
No, I mean, I know where you are in the story.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who asked you?
But you just
Oh, fine! Fine! Where am I, Smarty Pants?
The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason.
I knew that.
Of course you did.
It could be. His head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Spoiler alert. It totally was. Yeah. But, whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he's there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm-lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. Oh, it's practically here. Break time. I'm going to practice my sneer. Check this out. Sneer! How dare you?
Are you quite finished?
Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise. Oh, the noise! Noise! down for a feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. Oh, off-screen narrator.
Yes.
I'm hungry. Feed me.
Excuse me?
Snack time. Me hungry.
Well, I can see what I have around here. I was just about to prepare a stew. I could...
Perfect. Perfect. Don't skimp on the motor oil. They would feast on who pudding and rare who roast beast, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they do something he liked. Least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand and the Whos would start singing. And they'd sing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this whole Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Ew. I really can't stand that, singing. Like, get real. But luckily, the hero of the story, me, is about to have a wonderful, awful idea. And then the Grinch got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do! The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, oh, just like Satan. All I need is a rake.
Samity Sam! Samity Sam! You made it! Hey girl, welcome home, welcome home. Hi y'all. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, Sam! Zach, I'm home! I'm here! I'm home and I'm here! I'm rocking around the Christmas tree! We just had our 2 books get read to us tonight. Well, the Cup of Christmas Tea and then The Night Before Christmas. We had them read them twice. And then a special treat this year, I just so happened to see the Grinch reading How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And that's what we're in the middle of right now, is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, being read by none other than the Grinch himself. The Grinch. I love the Grinch. I love the Grinch, Sam says. Well, without further ado.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
Oh, thank you to whoever gave the hearts.
Then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head.
I'm sorry I missed the other. Oh, thanks for the heart.
Then he loaded some
Sam.
bags and some old empty
It's
sacks
okay.
on a ramshackle sleigh.
You're here
and
now.
He hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up!" And the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Whos lay a snooze in their town. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pitch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue. Hey,
treat you to a moose juice at Seuss Landing.
Ooh.
How accommodating.
All right.
Where the little hoose stockings all hung in a row, these stockings, he grinned, are the first thing to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present, pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. It's getting good. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast feast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch, he even took their last can of Who hash. I did take it. And no, I'm not sorry.
Oh.
Not even a little sorry.
Don't make me sneer at you.
Oh no, please, anything but that.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I'll stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus!
Santa Claus? Why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
Have you been here the whole time? But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little Dot, the big Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here. Excuse me. And it's been fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed.
Now pat her on the head,
Okay.
gently. That'll be all, Cindy Lou Who.
That was awkward, right? And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for the fire. Then he went to the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 9:15, or the Who still abed, or the Who still a snooze when he packed up his sled, packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. A poo-poo to the Who's. He was graciously humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. The valves will hang open for a minute or two. Then all the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low and started to grow. I wonder what happens next. But the sound... But the sound was sad, and everyone was sad and slightly mad, and they all went home eating.
Oh, Grinch. You know that's not the end of the story.
Yes, it is. I said the end. Everyone knows the story is over when you say the end. Even children know that.
But it's not over.
Fine.
The Grinch reluctantly turned back, sat down, opened up the book, and continued reading.
I'm literally doing it. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours, till his puzzler was sore. And the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. He brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
The end.
I need a minute, okay?
That was The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, read by the Grinch himself. You know, an hour and 20 minutes ago and some odd seconds I began this stream, and now here we are pushing an hour and 20 minutes. It's hard to believe an hour and 20 minutes has gone that fast. And on top of that, we're in Christmas Eve mode, so Christmas Day is just minutes away of being here. It is currently raining, which is good. It's not bad. It's good. Remember, the things that we go through don't define us, but it does help us make our decisions for the future. That was great. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. And when this gets posted, you can watch the entirety of the video. Oh my goodness. Ow, 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 ow. My brain's hurting because I don't know why it's hurting, honestly. So remember, the things that we go through don't define us, but it helps us make our decisions for the future. And I want to thank everybody for being here. To all the people who have a battle wrench Thank you for keeping this place safe. From my command center and power chamber to wherever you are in this big wide world of ours, I hope that you are starting or ending your day the right way. And a Merry Christmas to one and all, and happy holidays. Much love and light to the stars above, energizing